The video for April the 12th, 2017 is titled A Time of Great Confusion. We live in a time of great confusion. Some see this as a transition period between the Piscean and Aquarian ages. We are impacted by information and disinformation, even if we try to live in avoidance of such uncertainty. Many, like me, want to see a positive shift in the evolving human experience. Others seem to struggle to maintain the status quo. If we listen to Jay-Z Knight channeling Ramtha, which I did last night, we would think Donald Trump was a hero placed in that role by God. If that were true, why does he surround himself with so many Khazarian Jews? Their agenda is not peace on earth guided by loving one another. It's greed and power. They are the ultimate control freaks. I wish I could tell you how it will all turn out, but we simply don't know. It hasn't happened yet. What are you contributing in this confusing scenario? Indeed, I watched that video. It was an hour and a half about with Jay-Z Knight. I initially went into my room and laid down, but I couldn't hear it as clearly because I don't have any speakers in my room, and it just wasn't loud enough. So I came back to the computer and actually watched Jay-Z give her talk, which was in December last year, after the election, but before Donald Trump had taken office. But she correctly indicated that Hillary was not a very good person and not a wise choice as a candidate to run the country. If she, I believe, correctly said that if she had gotten elected, we would be engaged in a war right now. And she sees Donald Trump as God's answer to help usher in an age of peace on earth and right some of the wrongs that have been put in place by the control freaks, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and international bankers as a general rule, that have wreaked havoc on this planet because their most profitable enterprise is war. They supply the funds to build the weapons, and then they use the weapons, and they supply the weapons to both sides in every conflict, by the way. And then, of course, when the weapons are used, there's destruction, and you have to have more money spent on rebuilding things. And it's just an insane setup run by madmen or demon-possessed people or beings. In any case, it's confusing. It's confusing to those of us that try to make sense out of that which doesn't make sense, because we're not involved. Most of us are not. We don't have all this wealth and the ability to generate the apparent wealth. And it too is an illusion of wealth, because they're creating money out of nothing, backed by nothing. And money itself, even if it were backed by gold and silver and precious metals, etc., is still an illusory thing. Was it Jay-Z Knight, or was it somebody else that I listened to that said that we're going to actually have the ability to create gold out of nothing as we become more empowered, more awakened? Whether that's true or not, I don't know, and who said it, I'm not sure. But I know I saw that within the past 24 hours, or heard it, whatever. And there is so much confusion, so much uncertainty as to how things are playing out and to which side people are on. I mean, many of my friends are staunch Donald Trump supporters. And a few of my friends are staunch Donald Trump haters and actually supported Hillary, or in some cases, even third-party candidates which don't have a chance of getting elected in the United States at this time, because, of course, everything is rigged, and it's always the lesser of two evils option. It's not a really, you aren't given really positive choices. And the truth of the matter is, we don't know where people are. I mean, I look at Donald Trump, and I see that his son is married to a Khazarian and has become a Khazarian Jew himself. I think it's his son and not his daughter. But in any case, there's connections there to the Khazarian Jews. In case you don't know, I'll say it again, the Khazarian Jews are not Jews. They are converts to Judaism who chose Judaism instead of Islam or Christianity. That was the choice that they were given, but they made a third choice that wasn't presented to them. But they are a warlike people that have existed for centuries anyway, if not millennia. I really don't know how far back it goes, but they are not people of integrity. They are not people they are not peace-loving people. They are, to me, very irrational. But if money is your goal and money gives you power, then it's rational to them. But it's still confusing because most people can't understand that mindset. And I don't understand that mindset. I wouldn't want to be part of that mindset. Yet many are. And we live in that period of flux between, as I said, the Piscean and the Aquarian ages. We live in the flux of that transition. And how it's going to come out, I wish I could tell you. I wish Jay-Z Knight was right that Donald Trump is placed there by God to bring a positive transition. And someone even suggested that his wife would make an excellent choice to run for president in the future at some point. Now, again, it's not about gender. It's not about race. It's not about any of the things that have been used to divide us, not religion or any of the other things. It's about love. And if we can only love ourselves and stop thinking of ourselves as less than, as sinners, and recognize that we are all given the capability, it's intrinsic in our nature to make positive choices or negative choices, but choice is the key. And what are we going to choose? How will the world play out? Will it be destroyed? Will the most of the human race be wiped out, which is, of course, the plan of the elite? And that's what they see as giving them greater opportunity for greater control. They want to wipe out all the useless eaters so that they can keep more of the wealth for themselves that they have generated out of nothing. You see, folks, it's a time of confusion. And if it sounds confusing to you in what I'm presenting, it is. Yes, it is. I admit it. It's confusing. And I don't have the answers. I wish I did. I used to think that I knew how it was all going to turn out, that there was truly a loving God and that God was going to intervene in human affairs and bring peace on earth. I'm not so sure anymore. I hope that's what happens, but I don't know that that's what's going to happen because there don't seem to be any real guarantees, at least nothing that I can hang my hat on and put my trust in. So I put this out there for you to think about these things, and I continue to encourage people to think about these things, and I pray that you will choose peace and that you will choose love, because that is the only way we're going to have a world that works for everyone and for the highest good. Thank you for listening, and namaste.